Hello everyone, and this is my review for WWE Monday Night Raw on April 15th, 2013. And just to go off and say right off the get-go, I thought that this Monday Night Raw was, well, a really bad Raw in general. It was just mostly not really that good. I mean, there was a couple areas that were, they were pretty good in there, and I'll get to that a little bit later. But for the most part, I did not enjoy Raw whatsoever. First of all, continuing the whole handicap match with Sheamus and Randy Orton versus The Big Show. Really, they didn't need to do it again outside the fact that you didn't really get a clean finish the first time around. The match was okay, nothing special, and honestly, I didn't see the point of it even beginning Raw in general. Another area that definitely wasn't all that great to me, and it was pretty obvious throughout the whole thing, was the actual match with Caitlyn and Nikki Bella. Honestly, the Bellas have never been good in the ring, and it just goes to show that they probably will never be good in the ring in this one. So, yeah, that was definitely another just bad part to Raw in general. The Fandango segment, honestly, it was bad. It was just atrocious to watch. I just don't think I'm gonna get into this character, the Fandango character, at all, and I'm just not seeing it at this point in time. Obviously, you still have the fans trying to do the whole Fandangoing thing, but honestly, in my mind, I can't wait for him to, just go away at this point. Whenever he comes onto the TV screen, I kind of want to get up and walk away. I do sit there through the segments, but most of the time I just want to get up and walk away from the TV and not watch the segment in general. So, for the most part, yeah, everything he's done has not been all that great to begin with, and I hope, I'm still hoping that something will turn around here soon, whether or not, he continues a program with Chris Jericho or something, but I'm just not seeing anything with the Fandango character at all, or it going any further than where it's at right now. So that's basically that. Those were the two major, not two major, but the three major things I just thought really didn't fit into Monday Night Raw. And like I said, there was some really good areas. Well, actually, I did find one more area that I still don't really consider all that great. Just teaming up the Great Khali and Santino Marella in general. Obviously, Khali in general has never been good in the ring, and it just feels weird with the aspect that they're continuing this comedy act with him and Santino as a tag team. Obviously, they went up against Team Rhodes Scholars. The match wasn't all that great, mainly because of Khali being around there. But it is what it is, and like I said, for the most part, this Monday Night Raw was an extremely bad one in general. Though there were a couple areas that I thought actually came off really good. For one, the Brock Lesnar segment where he interrupts 3MB while they're trying to call out the Shield after the attack from Friday night. Instead, they get Brock Lesnar. He attacks them, and then him challenging Triple H to what he calls an old-fashioned steel cage match. I don't know what they exactly mean by that, but if it is what I'm taking from it, I kind of hope they bring back the old-fashioned steel cage, like the initial steel cages from back in the day, with the bars versus it being a chain link fence. So we'll see where they actually go with that here in the future, and that's actually something to look forward to. Another area that I'm actually looking forward to as well is the continuation of this Sheamus and Mark Henry feud. They had Mark Henry again attack Sheamus after the handicap match when they were doing an interview backstage later on in the show, and honestly, that's a feud that I'm actually somewhat interested in, because we saw what Sheamus put on with The Big Show, and I think he could put on a similar or even just as entertaining feud, maybe even a more entertaining feud with Mark Henry going into the future as well. So we'll see where they go with that. Another area that I thought the United States Championship match with Kofi Kingston and Antonio Cesaro was again a great match to watch. Just a lot of fun in general. it seems that they're going for the push to Kofi Kingston and putting the United States title on him, or they just felt like it was time to actually get the title off of Antonio Cesaro. I personally think it's a bit sad that, you know, they probably won't have anything else for Antonio Cesaro here in the near future, because he is a great in-ring performer, and his promos from back when he was doing the whole he likes America but doesn't like the American people type deal, I thought were really good promos, but I don't think they're going to continue on with that here into the near future. So hopefully they'll continue using Antonio Cesaro. He's a great in-ring performer, and hopefully he'll continue on doing some other good stuff. Just one more area that I ended up not really liking all that much. Before I go into until I go into what was considered the main event of the night, I didn't like where they were going with the World Heavyweight title situation with Dolph Ziggler, and now it seems as if they're going, they are going with a triple threat situation with Jack Swagger and Alberto Del Rio. Because earlier in the night they actually made it look like Alberto Del Rio was going to have his rematch there, and then Jack Swagger came out and attacked him, and eventually led to Swagger and Ziggler having a match made by Teddy Long, where that also led to another backstage statement. It seems like Booker T and Teddy Long aren't getting along type deal. One's going to eventually turn on the others at some point. The match with Dolph and Jack Swagger was an okay match in general, and then having Jack Swagger actually win. And then, of course, he got attacked by Alberto Del Rio after the match, and then the triple threat match was made. It seems as if the main focus of the storyline is still around the World Heavyweight title. Is actually still around Alberto Del Rio and Jack Swagger, where it's not actually involving much with Dolph Ziggler. The main feud of it is those two, and Dolph Ziggler's kind of there, which doesn't seem to fit all that well or feel all that right to me. Usually you would want the actual champion to be the main focal point of the feud, but he's kind of just there in this sense. And I'm hoping that's not going to be Dolph Ziggler's title reign, where he's kind of just there with a title. I'm hoping they're going to do a little bit more with him. In general, just having him have better feuds and going up against different and better opponents and all that aspect, and having better storylines. But right now he kind of just feels like he's there with the title, and that's about it. Actually, there was one other thing before I did talk about the John Cena Ryback, which was the CM Punk promo. Honestly, there had been rumor that they were going to give CM Punk some time off, and I think this was actually the best way of doing it. Typical way of them doing it would be have CM Punk get beat up, and him run with an injury for a while before coming back. Because, but in this aspect, that it seems as if they're giving him some time off. They had him just kind of deliver his promo, and then in this like strange air of silence, and then him hugging Paul Heyman and then leaving, kind of left that whole aspect. Did him losing to The Rock and Undertaker type deal, kind of break him, and then playing that storyline versus him just getting beaten up by somebody was, I think, a better way of going in general. So that was actually fun and entertaining. This basically brings me to the John Cena and Ryback area, and I felt that they did a good job of making Ryback come off as a heel. Now, the only problem with that is that the actual Ryback character in general, the kind of monster-esque character, doesn't really need a full heel turn. But they decided to go with it, and I think they did a good enough job, considering the fact that, he's going up against John Cena and everything. But where are they going to go when he's done with John Cena? Is he going to just remain a heel, or is he going to go back to like a full face or something in that sense? I don't think they would. I don't think it is going to be that easy to keep him a heel after he's done with his feud with John Cena. Now, his promo was actually good. I felt like he did a really good job of the promo, and then making himself, come off as nothing more than a heel in that sense. I actually liked the promo that John Cena did to Ryback later in the night, and then of course having the Shield attack him and having Ryback just stand there and do nothing was a nice added touch to making him a heel. So I felt like they did a good job there. I just had that fear that, you know, when Ryback's done with the John Cena feud, where does he go from there with his heel character? Because John Cena is really the only reason why he's kind of going heel here. Where can they go with that afterwards? So we'll see where they actually go with that here into the future and see how far they can actually take this storyline with him and John Cena. So overall, I felt Raw was just a really bad Raw this week. There was a couple good points to it, just overall bad in general. So that's my review for Monday Night Raw this week. I thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.